Hello students, let us read scene 1 of Every Man in His Humor. In scene 1, in the beginning, in the opening scene, we see old Novel and his servant Brainworm. Let me read from your play. Act 1, Scene 1, a street. Enter Novel at the door of his house. Novel, old Novel. A goodly day toward and a fresh morning. He comments on the weather of the day and he says it is a wonderful weather. Then he calls his servant Brainworm. Brainworm, enter Brainworm. When Brainworm comes, old Novel tells him, call up your young master, bid him rise, sir. Tell him I have some business to employ him. Old Novel tells his servant Brainworm to go and see Edward Novel and wake him up. Old Novel asks his servant to wake up his son young Novel. Brainworm says, I will, sir, presently. Old Novel, but hear you, sirrah, if he be at his book, disturb him not. Then old Novel immediately adds, if young Novel is reading a book, do not disturb him. Brainworm, well, sir, exit. Brainworm goes to the room of young Novel. After Brainworm leaves the stage, old Novel makes a speech. I will read the speech for you. How happy yet should I esteem myself, could I by any practice wean the boy from one vain course of study he affects. Here I have read just 3 lines of a long speech. Here old Novel says that he will be very happy if his son young Novel will stop reading poetry. He should wean from poetry. Wean means to stop. So if at all young Novel stops to read poetry, old Novel will be a very happy man. He will give reasons why he'll be happy in the next few lines. Continuing, old Novel says he is a scholar. Who is he here? Edward Novel. In old Novel's speech, he says that his son Edward Novel is a scholar. If a man may trust the liberal voice of fame in her report of good account in both our universities, either of which hath favoured him with degrees. So what does he say? Old Novel says that Edward Novel has obtained degree from university. He is a well-educated man. Next line, but their indulgence must not spring in me a fond opinion that he cannot err. So, if he has got degree, it doesn't mean that he is an accomplished man. He will not do any mistake. There is no guarantee that a university degree will make you infallible. That is, he will not make any mistake. So, the degree is there, but still young Novel has to be monitored. So in the next few lines, old Novel says, myself was once a student and indeed fed with the self same humor he is now, dreaming on naught but idle poetry. In these lines, old Novel remembers his past. He says he too was just like Edward Novel. He was fond of poetry when he was a student. He used to read lots and lots of poetry and would spend his time dreaming. That was how he used to be once upon a time when old Novel was a student. So he sees that even his son is the same. He also spends a lot of time reading poetry, which according to old novel is useless. Let me read the next lines. That fruitless and unprofitable art, good unto none, but least to the professors. The poetry here, that fruitless and unprofitable art refers to poetry. So, this poetry is of no use to anybody, not even the professors are benefited by it. So, reading poetry is useless activity. His son is studying poetry all the time means he is just wasting time. Next line, which then I thought the mistress of all knowledge. Once upon a time in his youth, old novel thought that poetry is the mother of all knowledge, but then later he realized that it is not so. But since time and the truth have waked my judgment, now after experience, after maturity, he has realized that poetry is worthless. In the next lines, and reason taught me better to distinguish the vain from the useless learnings. So, after gaining maturity or with age and experience, he has learned that the poetry is useless. It doesn't have anything useful in it. In his speech, old novel says that he'll be very happy if his son stopped reading useless poetry. He remembers how he himself used to be very fond of this worthless poetry in his youth. At that time, another character by name Stephen enters. You have already seen in the introduction part about this character. You know he is a country girl, that means a foolish person. Let me read the introduction of Stephen. Enter Stephen. Cousin Stephen, what news with you that you are here so early? When Stephen enters, old novel asks him, why are you so, why have you come so early? What is the matter? Stephen replies, nothing, but even come to see you, see how you do, uncle. He replies that he has come to see his uncle. Now you know, Stephen and old novel are related to one another. Now, old novel is the uncle and Stephen is the nephew. Now, in the further lines, we read that Stephen wants to borrow a book on hawk hunting from Edward. He wants to borrow this book on hawking. Stephen also says in a long speech that it is very important to learn hawking and that is a preliminary requisite to become a gentleman. At that time, old novel gives him some advice. He says, you are a prodigal, absurd coxcomb. Go to, nay, never look at me. He says, by spending money on this useless occupation of hawking, he is wasting the wealth, money given to him by his relatives. He shouldn't waste any time. He shouldn't be a spendthrift. That is what old novel tells Stephen. You are a prodigal, absurd coxcomb. Nay, never look at me. It is that I speak. Take it as you will, sir. I will not flatter you. Have you not yet found means enough to waste that which your friends have left you? he says that Stephen is an extravagant boy. That is, he is spending too much money, more money than actually required. Not only that, he is also foolish. Coxcomb means foolish. He says, old novel tells Stephen, please go away, never come before me. So I am telling you the truth. Don't waste money like this. He has already wasted money on the kite or the bird. He also says that he has bought books, hawk, hood, bells, etc. Not book. He has bought a hawk, a hood, bells, etc. Now the only thing he needs is a book that he wants to borrow from his cousin, that is Edward Novell. So old man is very angry with him, tells him that he shouldn't be wasting money over such things. So wasting money over hawking will not make him a gentleman. So he shouldn't be spending too much of money on such things as hawk hunting. Old novel rebukes Stephen for spending money on a kite which will not make him gentleman. Rebuke means to scold. So what is old novel doing here? He scolds Stephen for spending money on a bird. What Stephen thinks is that all that is necessary, absolutely essential to become a gentleman. Old novel tells him that it is not so. Just by wearing clothes or keeping a bird will not make him a gentleman. But continuing his advice, old novel tells him, learn to be wise and practice how to thrive. What Stephen has to do, he has to be wise and he should thrive. Thrive means to save money. Don't spend too much of money, save it. Save money. That would I have you do. You should do that. You should save money and be wise, and not to spend your coin on every babble that you fancy. Whatever you see, you should not buy, or every foolish brain that humors you. If somebody tells you, you buy that, you shouldn't immediately go and buy. You should apply some of your mental capability. Then only you should think, and if necessary he should spend money, otherwise not. Here old novel is advising Stephen to be very careful in his actions. Old novel advises Stephen not to spend money foolishly, not to visit places or people without being invited, not to spend money on extravagant dresses. Now, why does old novel tell Stephen all this? Because Stephen is spending money unnecessarily, thinking that all that dresses he buys or the birds and other animals he keeps will make him a gentleman. So, external appearance, outward appearance is not the one which makes a person gentleman. Old novel tells him this in his speech. At that time, a servant comes with a letter. Let me read that part. Servant enters. Save you, gentlemen. As soon as the servant comes, he sees Stephen. And Stephen is not very happy when servant comes. So what happens is Stephen fights with the servant because he thinks the servant is making fun of him. Stephen thinks because he is foolish, the servant is making fun of him. Actually, the servant has spoken very respectfully and courteously. But Stephen mistakes it. The servant had come with Wellbred's letter for Edward. Stephen starts fighting with him, showering abuses on him. At that time, old Novel interferes and he scolds Stephen. This is what he says, Stephen. What would you do, you peremptory gull, if you can't be quiet? Get you hence. Why are you fighting with that poor servant? You see, the honest man demeans himself modestly towards you. What has the servant done? He has been very respectful towards you, and whenever you showered abuses on him, he has been very silent. To your unseasoned quarreling, you have been quarreling with the servant without any reason, in a very rude fashion. And still you have it. What a kind of carriage, as void of weight as of humanity. Here, old Novel says, first of all, Stephen has no wit, he has no intelligence, and he doesn't have humanity also. Why should he fight with a poor man who has come to deliver a letter? And moreover, the servant has been very humble and respectful. Even then, Stephen is continuing to fight with him. So the old Novel sends Stephen away and then speaks to the servant. The servant tells him that he has brought letter from a person by name Wellbred, and this letter has to be given to Edward Novel. Now the servant mistakes that the old man is Edward Novel and delivers the letter, gives the letter to the old man. Old Novel speaks to the servant and comes to know that the letter is for his son Edward, and a gentleman by name Wellbred has sent it. Old Novel receives the letter, opens and reads it. Now we are reading the letter. The old man reads the letter. Before reading the letter, he says the following sentences. This letter is directed to my son. This letter, written by Wellbred, is for Edward Novel. Yet I am Edward Novel too, and may, with the safe conscience of good manners, use the fellow's error to my satisfaction. Now he knows, father knows that the letter is for son, but still he wants to read it, because he says that old men are curious. He wants to know what is written in the letter. Be it but for the style's sake and the phrase, to see if both do answer my son's praises. He wants to read this letter written by Wellbred, because the young Novel is always praising Wellbred. He always says what a wonderful person Wellbred is. So, old Novel is interested in this man, Wellbred. He wants to read what kind of letters, phrases, words this man uses, who is almost grown the idolater of this young Wellbred. His son, Edward Novel, is an admirer of Wellbred. So, old Novel wants to know what is so special about him. So, by reading the letter, he may get some insight into the character of Wellbred. That is why he wants to read the letter. Now, this is what Wellbred has written in the letter. Why, Ned, I beseech thee, hast thou forsworn all thy friends in the old Jewry? Here, Well-bred is asking young Novel or Edward Novel why he has not visited them, that is, Well-bred and other friends, from a long time. Now they are staying in a place called Old Jewry. So here, Well-bred tells or Well-bred asks Edward Novel why he has not visited them in the old Jewry. Or dost thou think as all Jews that inhabit there? Now this particular place, old Jewry, long ago was inhabited by Jewish people. Now there is nobody there, only Well-bred and his friends are there. So he says, do you think that all of us are Jews? Do we belong to the Jewish community, and you being a Christian are avoiding us? Now you know, from time immemorial, the Jewish and the Christian people hated one another. They did not like each other, so there was always hatred among them. So the Jewish people did not like or visit the Christians, and vice versa. Here, Well-bred asks, does thou think us all Jews that inhabit there? Are we all Jewish people that you don't want to visit us or see us? Yet, if thou dost come over and but see our frippery, change an old shirt for a whole smock of us, you can come here and buy some clothes. That is what Well-bred offers young Novel. The letter continues as follows: do not conceive that antipathy between us and Hogsden as was between Jews and hog flesh. Hog here means the pork, meat of pigs. So, Jewish people did not eat any pork. So, here once again, Well-bred is asking a young Novel why is he avoiding them. Just like Jews avoid pork, he is also avoiding his friends. Leave thy vigilant father alone. What he should do immediately after receiving this letter, Edward Novel should leave his father. There is an adjective used for the father. What is the adjective? Vigilant. What does that mean? It means always watching, constantly keeping a surveillance. So the father here is Old Novel, and he keeps an eye on his son. Everybody knows it. So Well-bred tells him, you leave your father there, come over, we will have fun. To number over his green apricots, the old father, let him stay in the house and do some work. Let him count the apricots evening and morning on the northwest walls. So let him do that work. You come to the old Jewry and let us all enjoy. And I had been his son, I had saved him the labor long since, if taking in all the young wenches that pass by at the back door and coddling every kernel of the fruit for them. Here, Well-bred continues to say that if he was a young Novel, he would make friendship with all the girls in the surrounding area and give them the fruits that are growing in their orchard. Apricot, is a kind of fruit. So he will give all the fruits to the girls there instead of keeping them. So after reading this letter, old man becomes very upset. Who was reading this letter? Now Old Novel was reading it. He becomes very much upset. So, in the letter, Wellbred says in his letter that Edward must visit him at the Old Jewry because there is some entertainment waiting for him there in the form of foolish people. So, Edward Novel's letter, that is the letter meant for Edward Novel, Wellbred has written that he should immediately come to the Old Jewry and that they can enjoy themselves there. After reading the letter, Old Novel feels that it must have come from a house of prostitutes or from a hospital because the content is so bad that he dislikes it. This is what he says: from the bordello it might come as well, the spittle or pit hatch. So this dirt has come from a very dirty place. Is this the man my son had sung so for the happiest wit? So, Edward Novel has been talking about Wellbred in very good terms, but after reading after reading Wellbred's letter, young man, after reading Edward's After reading Wellbred's letter, the old man becomes very upset. He says, "Is this the man my son had sung so for the happiest wit, the choicest brain, the times have sent us forth? I know not what he may be in the arts, nor what in schools, but surely for his manners I judge him a profane and dissolute wretch." So he says, is this the person about whom my son used to talk about in such good terms? After reading his letter, I feel that he is a very bad character. Profane, dissolute, all of these words mean a very bad character.